What if the desert could speak, and its language was already inside you? As Old Billy's notes resurface once more, we follow a story where high-tech scientists arrive to count every grain of sand, only to be met by a nomad whose wisdom defies numbers. But this isn't just a tale about sand or science or mysticism. It's about you, about what remains after time passes, what lingers on the skin, what cannot be measured, but can be felt. This is not just another episode. This is Grains, and some truths, like love, are infinite.
When the fog descended, silence settled over the village after the discovery of Old Billy's departure. His notes were left stacked, serving as entertainment for the locals who chose to share them with others.
Number 028, Grains. Escorted by a military convoy outfitted with satellite antennas, solar panels, and an array of strange machines, the scientists arrived, armed with their ultra-modern computers, to count and classify the grains of sand in the desert. In a mix of indignation and bewilderment, the leader of a nomadic caravan, a man with sunburned skin and an age beyond reckoning, knocked on the door of the mobile laboratory, its interior chilled by artificial cold. Before the doctors could speak, he shed his heavy garments and declared, "You search for numbers, but I am the answer. The desert does not need to be counted. It breathes through me as I breathe through it. The grains of sand are as countless as the pores of my skin, as infinite as the moments we fail to grasp." It took me years to understand the truth behind his words dismissed by the skeptical emissaries of scientific precision. Only later, when another traveler spoke a different truth, did I begin to grasp it. You might survive a crusade through the desert, but the desert will never leave you. It has been nearly 40 years since my encounter with Mrs. Death in the desert. 40 years since I met life within me. Countless showers, endless sea tides, and yet even now grains of sand emerge from my skin like whispered memories, as if the dunes themselves refuse to let me go. Science cannot explain this, but the naked nomad was right. When we merge in love, we fertilize expansion.
This text is deeply philosophical, blending elements of science, mysticism, and existential reflection. Here are some key aspects of its meaning and impact. Themes and symbolism. Science versus wisdom. The contrast between modern scientists meticulously counting sand grains and the nomad who embodies intuitive knowledge highlights the limitations of empirical methods in grasping existential truths. Oneness with nature. The nomad's statement comparing desert grains to human pores suggests an intrinsic connection between humans and nature, reinforcing the idea that we are the universe, not separate from it. The persistence of experience. The reference to finding desert grains even decades later implies that transformative experiences, whether encounters with death, nature, or love, leave indelible marks on our being. Transcendence through love. The final line shifts from personal reflection to a broader spiritual concept, suggesting that true merging, whether with the desert or with another being in love, leads to limitless expansion. Tone and style. The tone oscillates between wonder, nostalgia, and quiet revelation, making the narrative feel deeply personal yet universal. The poetic structure enhances its mysticism, blending storytelling with profound metaphorical meaning. Final thought. The text challenges rigid scientific worldviews, advocating for an understanding that transcends mere facts and embraces lived experience, connection, and transformation. It poetically reminds us that some truths like the grains of the desert cannot be counted, only felt.
Hi, Jessica. We are glad to see you here. Thanks for sharing with us. Any other comment or consideration?
Yes, me, Dr. Dustin. Nothing really out of context. Ambiguity. while the ambiguity of the strange machines and unseen forces adds to the mystery. Some readers might appreciate a bit more clarity. On the other hand, the lack of clarity adds to the mystical feeling of the text. Generalization of science. The portrayal of scientists as solely focused on quantification could be seen as a generalization. It would be wise to remember that there are scientists that also value qualitative data. Overall, this is a beautifully written and thought-provoking piece that effectively contrasts scientific reductionism with the wisdom of lived experience and spiritual connection. Old Billy's evocative imagery and philosophical reflections make this a compelling and resonant read.
I will focus on the last sentence, the one that truly matters. When we merge in love, we fertilize expansion. Remember that for Mr. Billy, love is not just the word commonly used on Valentine's Day. To old Billy, love is the very essence of life itself, the force that propels existence forward, allowing it to expand infinitely, generating new grains through the pores of the desert's inhabitants.
If I may, John.
Please proceed, Dr. Ada.
Thanks, John. I would like to point out something outside the text, yet it feels as if it came straight from old Billy himself. I'm referring to the last sentence in Jessica's analysis. It poetically reminds us that some truths, like the grains of the desert, cannot be counted, only felt. Combined with Ivy's comment, this makes me believe that the purpose of these messages can indeed reach a good number of people. It seems we're doing a great job of decoding them, don't you think?
Fasten your seat belts. This is just the beginning. Translating the upcoming notes will require us to bring out the best of our essence. Thank you all.